Hello everyone. Today I would like to tell you about a little story. Back in 2002 or so, I began to run SETI at home on my home computer, thanks to my wonderful teacher, electronics teacher, Dave Huber, and my interest grew and grew, and eventually I enrolled in Clackamas Community College, went to the Barlow building, took electronics courses, saw all the computers in the lab, and was wondering, hey, they're all idle. I might be able to put distributed computing on them as well without being noticed. And the main issue was that they were protected with a software from Centurion Technologies, Driveshield, now called Smart Shield, but back in 2005 it was called Driveshield. So that whenever any writes occurred to the hard drive, drive C volume, it would revert once the machine was rebooted. So anything put on there, a work unit in progress, etc., any software, anything, it would revert to its stock image once it was rebooted. And I looked up online, can you bypass it? Is there any way within Windows, within its running environment, to have writes stick? And the answer is no, because it uses a driver. There's one guy who offers some advice here. These forums are still up. I printed this off back in 2005, and these forums from Rohit is still up. It's amazing. So, but I did not go this route because you'd have to be in an environment where saving a modification to the registry would stick in the first place, which means it wouldn't work anyway within the environment. Now the main issue, boot into another OS from, USB sticks were just first generation back then, so booting to a CD. The main issue was the BIOS had a password, and the setting was, of course, don't boot to anything except the mechanical hard drive inside. So you put a CD in, nothing would happen. So I needed to remove the BIOS password. And I lucked out, or lucked in. I lucked out. There was actually a piece of software that I found for the Pentium 4 machines that would just remove the password. And it was a little program called Password Reminder. Made by NewPowerSoft. Anyway, it has fancy features where you can like hover over stuff and it will show passwords where there are asterisks. But anyway, this is the magic button right here. You click this, at least on those machines, you click it, but the erase BIOS password, it would erase the password, but also set everything to default, so it would magically, now the machine at school would boot to CD. Okay, so that's step one. And second is to make a CD that would automatically install a distributed computing project. So what I used was DOS. I used NTFS for DOS, which you can still download today in order to read the NTFS file system and perform commands to copy data over from the CD environment. So NTFS for DOS. So autoexec will run the NTFS driver, and then it will execute G. G creates a directory that looks unsuspicious because that is the room number. I could have named it anything, but that was the room number at the college that the computers were residing in. And then copy all contents of directory G, suppressing prompts, and then copy this homemade shortcut I made. I had to, it was kind of difficult. I needed to make this on my home machine with the same folder structure so it would just work. And it took many trials. I have like 10 CDs behind me of trials. Some of them are trials where it didn't work out, so I had to tweak the shortcut, tweak little things, little typos. So after that's done, I would take out the CD, reboot, and then it would run install.bat. So from the shortcut, the startup folder, it would run this. It would create a directory called indexing within system32, which is with a hidden attribute. And then this, because of the 8.3 syntax of DOS, it might have copied it as that, even though I wanted to copy the contents of G. In doing so, this is longer than 8 characters. It's 9. So basically make it the full length again and copy these files from G, I believe, from C/G to, or from B152A/B152A to system32/indexing. Because, oh yes, Windows XP had the indexing service. Sure. And so copy these files. This is to create the Windows service. This is for SETI at home. I'm not sure what this does. This is actually SETI at home. This is the user info file. Probably I had Dan1234. No, I think I had an anonymous username in there. And then this command creates the service called indexing. And set it up to this. I'm not quite sure how I did. It's been so long. Run the regedit. Net start the service. And every time the machine reboots, it would redo this file, of course. And so in deciding all this, I needed to make sure that the system was efficient. All the computers were finishing their work units and submitting to the server before someone logged out and another student logged in. So in the end, I decided against SETI at home because a Pentium 4 takes 5+ hours. So I determined the only viable project would be DNETC, as in RC5 hashing, RC5 distributed computing, which happens really quickly. And pause. I'm not quite sure what this registry file does, but I felt the need to import it into the registry after creating the service. And then, of course, I would start the service called indexing. It turns out that SRV ANY is required in order to use a user-defined service. And so that is what the registry entry does. It points to the actual executable I want to launch. After I create the service to launch servany, servany will then launch my executable. We go. SVC host is, of course, the command line version of SETI at home. Now, as I said, I did end up going with DNETC, but another technique I needed to use is I needed this to run hidden, whichever project I used. So I ran this little program called runhide. I don't know if it, because this was all running on Windows XP, but this program called runhide, you would just do like command line runhide this executable and it would be hidden. So that's my technique there. Now let me try to find you. The program runhide I used was for Northern Codeworks that Google has no results for, but at any rate, it's not compatible with Windows 10, even in XP mode. But there are other methods to, nowadays, if I were to do something like this, to run a GUI Windows program hidden when it executes with, just Google search away VB script. So that's trivial. Running program, creating a shortcut for this program that hides a program, you have it run. That's trivial. So, in the DNETC version, in which work units would finish within an hour, so they would not, chances are of a user rebooting the machine mid-work unit would be lower. I had it run this one. I'm not sure if this exact file, there's a lot of copies, but auto run if running within Windows, or auto exec if booting from the CD, so that it would stick forever. Load the driver, run D. D would actually, instead of dnetc.exe, it is renamed to update, like Windows updates. So in that task manager, it would just show update.exe using 100% of the CPU. Isn't that pretty normal anyways? and Office, Office. Sure, to quick start Office because Office 2003 is bloatware, I guess. And alternatively, I later created it within Windows /update. And then I would just run it. In DNETC, I did not run as a service. And I'm pretty sure I ran it hidden. I'm trying to see which version. A lot of CDs here. I'm trying to find which one was the final version I used on all the computers to show you guys, and perhaps to run on my old Pentium D Dell machine to see if I can demonstrate all of this. So that's pretty much how I did it. I'm going to go see if password reminder works on this Pentium D machine. That would be pretty neat. Just within Windows, hit erase password. Let's go see. Okay, I have a Athlon XP machine with a mechanical hard drive, CD drives, a Word BIOS. I don't know if my machine's used AMI or a Word, but stand by. Let's see if I can get this to do some magic. I have 2 CD drives, but the rubber bands in both of them are worn out. Okay. That's what you get for 20-year-old IDE drives. Oh. Yes, it does. Okay. Let's try to create a BIOS password and see if the password reminder will clear it. Stand by. Okay, well, I wasn't able to get into the BIOS first try, but it's booting to the CD. Okay. Bart's boot disk. Is my I don't think my keyboard is working. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why the first 2 characters are blocked off. It's a really old computer. MSCDEX. Wonder if it'll load Oak CD-ROM next. Or if it'll just find a bad sector. Okay, here we go. NTFS for DOS. Oh, there it went. File not found shortcut. Stand by. This computer is too old to support USB keyboards in DOS. It just won't work, and I don't have a PS2 keyboard. So, at any rate, there you go. It can work. And as you can see, it successfully copied the 2 files from DOS running on the CD. So, yeah. Let me try to run hide next on Windows XP. So this is what I would do. I would simply run password reminder. It's compatible with a Word BIOSes. Hit ERS password on the computers in B152A and also, I don't know, in the library. Not the library, the computer lab. And then simply just hold down the power button for 4 seconds. Put in the CD, hold down the power button, turn it back on. It would boot to the CD. I would often turn off the screen so the lab assistant wouldn't know what's going on, and I would see the drive, CD drive blank, hard drive LED blink, and I would know the behavior and the timeline, and I would know when it would be completed with its script, and then I would just pop the CD out, power cycle again, and Windows would boot, and it would run its script once Windows booted, and I would just move to the next machine and the next machine, and I got away with it for some time. I mean, I never got caught. Just apparently their antivirus eventually somehow thought it was a virus. But just pretend. Oh, there it is. It's actually running hidden. I don't know why there's no GUI for it, but maybe I have it. I don't know. It's not. It's just magically working hidden as it would be without having to use run hide or anything. But yeah, distributed computing on this simply by running the CD. Lol. I forgot there's a NIC in here, a Wi-Fi card. It's actually, it's connected to my Wi-Fi. It got a work unit. That's hilarious. This is actually the INI file I used. This is the email. And that's what the machine downstairs is probably registered as. And so the moral of the story is that this software is just only as good as its weakest link. If you bypass the password, bypass the driver by booting into another OS, there's nothing it can do. It does not use encryption. I don't know about the latest version. Perhaps I should try this and see if its weakness is still there. Installing prerequisite. This is on the Pentium D machine, running Windows 10, because I doubt this will run on XP. I plugged in the CD-ROM drive while Windows was running. No problem. I just plugged in the SATA power and SATA data. Immediately saw the drive. Okay. Standalone. One moment. There's actually a slash within the license key. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay. Okay, next it asks, so I entered in a PIN number, I know. Okay, that's taken away. So this is like remote desktop shiz. I'm not even gonna use it, but anyway, I'll just. Okay, installation folder, program files. It's not Centurion Guard, it's Data443. Maybe that's why Centurion Guard's social medias have latest post is 9 years old. Maybe it's Data443 now. You already did that. You already installed the .NET runtimes. Stand by. More prerequisites. Installs pretty fast on a Pentium D thanks to the SSD. Samsung 860 Evo. It is running Milky Way at the moment. But one CPU is pegged for setup. Anyway, let's go install this and see if I can get past it. I also want to show you the setup of how to, I never used this myself, and how to shield my drive. It's been installed. Okay. Stand by. Alright. Windows 7. This is an MBR BIOS. I have a USB stick of Windows 10, but it's EFI. The MBR version that I used to make the Windows 10 install for this has been used for something else. Okay, tried as I might to run my classic distributed computing CD, it will not load the RAM drive, will not load the RAM drive NTFS for DOS properly. So I'm going to try to make a change to the file system another way. I could just get a Linux boot disk, USB, make a change that way, but I don't have that handy. This is a bit troublesome because it's an MBR BIOS, so I needed to get a dedicated USB stick MBR style to install Windows 10 instead of EFI, but that's not available right now. But either way, I will prove this to you that Driveshield, the latest version, is still bypassable. And this sort of thing I did could be automated by someone else for nefarious reasons. Basically, Driveshield doesn't use encryption, so you just modify the data on the drive while the operating system hints the driver is not loaded. Let's see. How do I get to the recovery console? I'll just make a directory on Driveshield, be like Driveshield sucks, and then reboot. Oh, it's there. Hey, that's nice. Oh man. Repair. Keyboard only, folks. Use recovery tools, yes. Tab. Space. Oh. Okay. Make dir Driveshield sucks. Okay. Now we will see. I don't know why I didn't prompt to boot from the CD that time. Who knows? Might have put a flag in there somewhere. That's just the CD-ROM drive still buzzing. Not very good power management on this guy. Okay. Oh, gee whiz. There it is. Of course, when I reboot, this will be gone. Okay. No encryption used. What's this? Some install. Oh. This is where Driveshield installs stuff. Hmm. 8, huh? Okie dokie. Okay, let's make another change. Let me first show you. We are protected. Not Centurion, gone Data443. Not Centurion Tech anymore. But protection is on. See? How do I shut it off? By clicking that button, right? Right. It's on. Let's make another change. Pretend this is a CD putting on a virus or something. All that's needed is the BIOS being able to boot to USB or to a CD, although new machines don't have one. Please prompt. Yes, 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 yes. Uncut. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I'm proving a point. Why don't they offer drive encryption? Don't you wonder? That would make the product stronger. Instead, it relies on IT professionals having a secure BIOS password. And if someone pulls the battery or pulls the what is it on Dell's, a green jumper to reset BIOS to default settings, doesn't that remove the password usually? And then the default behavior may be to boot to CD, to boot to USB, and you're off to the races. You just have to have access to that without arousing suspicion. Physical access to the machine. But I see this as being useful if you work in an organization that does this, and you are irritated by having to put your critical files every day back on the machine from the cloud or whatever. You could do this during your lunch break. Add it into a folder, and don't risk your job or anything. But this could be a tool for you to save you time, make you more efficient at your job by having everything you need every morning when you come in, install it, instead of having to put it back on every time the machine restarts. I don't recommend it because your job is important. Okay, yeah. Now remember, this is uncut. Drive C is like the bootloader volume. This is the main boy. Now if we go into dir, you'll see that this is cool, or whatever text file I put in is gone. Dir. Okay, now I'm gonna make dir really sucks. Dir. Uncut, folks. The video is bigger, longer, and uncut for your viewing boredom. It does prompt. This is the latest version I downloaded today from the website. This brings back memories. When I went into the computer lab at school, I noticed it was always pleasant to hear all the Pentium Ds in there at high fan speed, and the room kind of warm, all thanks to me, until the antivirus caught up. It was a fun little adventure. Of course, DNETC is just busy work. It doesn't do anything to help humanity, unlike folding at home and such. But those work units would have taken way too long on a Pentium 4 based machine. It just get 10% done, and then someone would log off. I would need it to do checkpoints to a cloud drive and then recover from a cloud drive. Could be doable, but would have been more work. This was just a nice project for me. All right, let's go. You know it'll be there. Huh? It really sucks. It really, really sucks. This is the install file. This is the installed shortcut. It'll pop up in a sec because it's a Pentium D. Running a bit slower because Driveshield sucks. Alright. Okay. Well, I think I proved my point. Wonder how many views this will get.